Hey, hello. I'm tunesy, if you couldn't tell by the channel name, of course. Um, Day freaking 15, guys. We're a quarter there, I'm guessing. I'm not keeping track anymore. The 25th episode is gonna be halfway through. So, we're almost there, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, we're speeding through this, like, fast. And yeah, today, well, at the time recording this, is the 27th. But when this releases, it will be the 29th or 30th. I'm not quite sure. Because I think yesterday's video is Indiana. So yeah, the 29th. Okay, the 29th. And yeah, almost Halloween, guys. Literally 2 more days to Halloween. Well, when this is posted. But yeah, can y'all freaking believe that? No freaking way. Halloween. Like I said, I'm a Elizabeth Edward Scissorhands. So, oh, and you guys won't see me in my costume because I'm 2 days ahead of posting. Sorry, that's three. I was 2 days ahead of posting. So by the time it's the 31st, I'll already be done with the series, and the last video would be posted on the 31st. Um, so that means I'm recording the last video on the 28th. Interesting. Yay. Also, I lied. Sorry for lying in the last video. Last video, the little scene wasn't different. But yeah. Today we're doing state Iowa. Oh my goodness, Iowa. I don't really hear much from Iowa, actually, now thinking about it. I don't even know where Iowa's at, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. Today's song of the day is Stoned by Mac Miller. The genre is hip hop. And yeah, let's get started. Again, I'm rephrasing myself, but today's state is Iowa. Um, this is more of an older story again, 1912. Probably one of my other older stories, I'm not gonna lie. I think my oldest one was in the 1800s, which was the candy poison murders or something like that in Delaware. But today's about the Villisca Axe Murders. At 7 a.m. on June 10th, 1912, Mary Peckham, the Moore's neighbor, became concerned after she noticed that the family had not come out to do their morning chores. Peckham knocked on the Moore's door. When nobody answered, she tried to open the door and discovered that it was locked. Peckham let the Moore's chickens out and called Ross Moore. Like Peckham, Moore received no response when he knocked on the door and shouted. Ross unlocked the front door with his copy of the house key. While Peckham was stood on the porch, Ross went into the parlor and opened the guest bedroom door, where he found Ina May and Lena Stilleringer's bodies on the bed. Moore immediately told Peckham to call Henry Horton, who arrived shortly thereafter. Horton's search of the house revealed that the entire Moore family and the two Stillinger girls have been beaten to death. The murder weapon, an axe belonging to Josiah B., was found in the guest room where the Stillinger sisters were found. Doctors concluded that the murders had been taken place between midnight and 5 a.m. Two spent cigarettes in the attic suggested that the killer or killers patiently waited in the attic until the Moore family and the Stillinger guests were asleep. The killers began in the master bedroom where Josiah and Sarah Moore were sleeping. Josiah received more blows from the axe than any other victim. His face had been cut to such an extent that his eyes were destroyed. The ceiling in his room also had a gouge mark from where the murderer lifted the axe to murder him. The killer, or killers, used the blade of the axe on Sarah while using the blunt end on the rest of the victims. Herman Montgomery, Mary Catherine, Arthur Boyd, and Paul Vernon were next beaten in the head in the same manner as their parents. Afterwards, the murderer returned to the master bedroom to inflict more blows on the Moors, knocking over a shoe that filled with blood from the previous attack, before moving downstairs to the guest bedroom and killing Ina and Lena, Seemingly afterwards, a 4-pound slab of bacon was taken out of the icebox and laid next to the axe. Investigators also found untouched food and bloody water on the kitchen table during the search. Investigators believed that all of the victims, except for Lena Stillinger, had been asleep when murdered. They thought that she was awake and tried to fight back, as she was found lying crosswise on the bed and with a defensive wound on her arm. Lena was lying on her stomach. Lena's body had also been moved and her undergarments removed. Her leg had been positioned in a such way as to reveal her genitalia. This led to law enforcement speculation that the killers sexually molested her or attempted to do so. Later investigations show no evidence of this. Every mirror in the house was covered with blankets, clothing, or any means of covering. Garments were removed from the dressers to cover the mirrors. After the search of the house, people were let into the house to view the scene. At around 8:40 a.m., the town central telephone office issued an all-call alert, advising every household in the town of the murders. Within minutes, the house was rushed by town folks. This completely contaminated the scene, with some people even stealing pieces of Josiah's skull as souvenirs. The murder weapon was handled by hundreds who came through the house. The sheriff was unable to gain control of the scene for hours. The county coroner, Dr. Lindquist, arrived at the scene of the crime at approximately 9 a.m. after viewing the scene himself. He met with Horton, who had been the town's night watchman that Sunday, and Orrin Jackson to review the information they had collected. Lindquist was upset by the constant influx of town folks interfering with the investigation and urged the sheriff to get the National Guard to secure the scene. By 10:30 a.m., the National Guard established a secure perimeter to keep people out. Although Lindquist called members of the coroner's jury together in late afternoon, it was several hours before they entered the Moore home to view the bodies. After 10 p.m., he called County Attorney Ratcliffe to finally give permission to the undertaker to remove them. The fire station had been set up as a temporary morgue, and it was closed to 2 a.m. before all the bodies had been transported there, likely around 24 hours after the murders occurred. Doctors estimated the murders occurred between midnight and 2 a.m., and the victims' autopsies revealed all died from severe head trauma. At the time, newspapers proffered a theory that the murderer put sedative in milk or cocoa eaten by the family, but toxicology studies weren't a routine part of autopsies at that time. Investigators found an imprint in the hay in the barn next to the knothole, where they believe the killer observed the family for some time. Two spent cigarettes found in the attic suggested the murderer could have entered the house by a window or the unlocked back door and hid until the family returned from church. Two curious bits of evidence were uncovered: a gas lamp with its chimney removed and its wick turned down so it would give off the only sensitive bit of light was discovered upstairs. A fragment of a keychain, not belonging to any family members of the Moore family, was found downstairs. After this limited investigation, the coroner held an inquest the next day, June 11th, 1912, where 13 people were interviewed as potential witnesses. Over time, many possible suspects emerged, including Reverend George Kelly, Frank F. Jones, William Mansfield, Loving Michelle, Paul Mueller, and Henry Lee Moore, having no relation, by the way. Kelly was tried twice for the murder. The first trial ended in a hung jury, while the second ended in an acquittal. Other suspects in the investigation was also exonerated. Dang, this one's violent. Oh my gosh. Axe. I knew people used. This is the first crime scene that I think involved an axe. Most of them involved bats or guns, but yeah, there was more to this story. Well, with the murders, but I didn't want to deep dive into all the murders because they had different stories, and I don't think they ever caught the person, by the way. So that's why I don't want to go deep into it. There's no point if the suspects weren't even the actual murders, you know. But I mean, I mentioned them, so that's okay. Um, I'm still upset about the football game yesterday, so I'm not in the greatest mood, you know. But yeah, that'll be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this series so far, even though I'm getting like 4 views. You know, it's for you 4 views, guys. For those 3 views that's watching, I appreciate y'all and love y'all so much. Hopefully, I grow big someday. And yeah, uh, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye. Oh, I just hit my mic. Bye.